All right. Welcome to On The Sideline. I'm your host, Jeff Holden. Today we got Coach O,
Your number one guy.
Coach Evan Hearn, and the man of the hour, head coach, athletic director at Northside, Coach Schlieve. Appreciate you coming in, Coach.
Appreciate you having me.
Yep. And so we'll just jump right into it. Just tell us about yourself. Tell us about your coaching career. Yeah, we'll go from there.
Okay. I guess, like most athletes, got done playing college football and wanted to become a head football coach as soon as I could. Started off, spent 1 year at Wapaton, North Dakota as a linebackers coach, and competed in the largest classification in the state of North Dakota. Life was good. Head coach at the time got deployed, got sent over to Iraq, and in the transition, actually interviewed for the head job and had a couple boosters sit down, talk to me and say, Coach, we thought you did a great job with the interview. We just want you to know that we're going to go a different direction. And wasn't mature enough at the time to understand. Now in hindsight, you don't turn over a program of that size, of that stature to somebody with that experience. But took a job at Pillager, Minnesota then as the defensive coordinator. Wasn't there very long and was named the head coach. Spent 3 years at Pillager High School in Pillager, Minnesota as the head football coach, and had an opportunity to go back to my alma mater, Mayville State University. Head coach had come down and recruited some of our players, and he asked if I'd come out and speak with the team for homecoming. Looked at it, and it lined up with our bye week. So went out and spoke to the team. I didn't realize it at the time, but was an extended interview. Got offered an opportunity to go and coach college football, complete my master's, get college recruiting, college coaching experience. Did that. Life was good. And they had said we're going to have a gap, a 1 year gap. And I said, a 1 year gap. And they said, between when you have your master's and we have a full-time job, and with a family, there's no gap years. So
No.
It's not a gap insurance.
That's right. So I took a job at Beulah, North Dakota. That was when the term head coach in waiting had just become in vogue with Will Muschamp at Texas, Mac Brown. Mm-hmm. So got hired at Beulah with that mindset, tremendous high school, and got to Christmas break, got a phone call, hey, coach. And it was one of our linebackers, and he jumped right in as if we were talking like this. He's like, all right, you're going to run this drill, you do this. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, well, they're going to offer you a position. And got offered assistant head coach, defensive coordinator, linebackers, teaching in the HPR division at my alma mater. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So go back to Mayville State, spent 3 years doing that. And the head coach was from the West Coast. He went back to the West Coast and got named head coach at Mayville State University. We had a tremendous first year. We won as many games year one as the previous coach won in his entire tenure combined. So now we're at the alma mater. Life is good. Follow that up with another 5-win campaign. And then year three, we win 7 games. We play for a conference championship. This was a dream job. And here's where the business side comes in. Had a couple people sit down and say, all right, you've had success at a place that hasn't had success. Here's a couple Division II schools that you're going to be in line for. Wasn't mature enough to hear that. It was at my alma mater. Why would you want to leave your alma mater? Mm-hmm. So I had a coach that I really respected. He sat me down and said, I know that you got your master's in sports administration. I imagine you want to be an athletic director. I said, I do. He said, with this success, you've got a couple opportunities. And I didn't want to give up coaching, but he broke it down for me that sometimes if you don't go when you have the opportunity, people are going to start to think you're not able to go. Mm-hmm. And that was hard to hear. And so we started looking at, I wasn't done being a coach, but I wanted to be an athletic director. Well, when you want to do that, all roads lead to Texas. I mean, if you can remotely handle it, when you're the head football coach, you're going to be the athletic director. Mm-hmm. And we came down and interviewed at a couple schools and got a call at a 4A school, and they said, we thought you interviewed great, but you're not going to want to hear this. You're not a Texan. You got to get into Texas. He goes, you get into Texas, you'll become an athletic director fast. And I was like, no way. I'm like, you know what? Why would he take the time to call if that wasn't the case? So we came to a 4A school as the assistant head coach, defensive coordinator, Spring Hill High School in Longview, Texas. Mm-hmm. And it was just like they said. We got in the door and started to learn everything we could about Texas high school football. From Spring Hill, we went to LaFour's in the Panhandle as athletic director, head football coach. And then we've kind of had stops throughout Texas at different places, 6-man and 11-man. But what we found is, even though it's not popular to say in Texas, we love 6-man football. We love small schools. And what's crazy is we're at a 4A school when we get down here, and it almost turns into a fight in the coach's office that I went to a 6-man game on our bye week. They were so upset. And I said, you love hunting. Yes. You love fishing. Yes. You love the country. Yes. And you're messing around in 4A, 5A, 6A. You are made for 1A. Mm-hmm. And it was like their minds were blown that it doesn't matter what level you're at. You can make the big time where you are. And you still have the same ability to influence people, to make a difference. And we just fell in love with the 6-man game. And through different moves, different stops, we've gained insight, experience, opportunities, and that led us to Northside ISD, and we're ready to start year number 1 with the football program.
Man, that is the kind of explanation we need whenever we say introduce yourself.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was it. I mean,
well, we can go home now.
Yeah, no,
for sure.
No,
That's
so
the benediction.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's quite a road. We welcome you to the 940.
In
I'm
Texas.
Sure. Yeah, Texas as well.
How long have you been in Texas?
This is year 11 in Texas.
Okay, so you've been coaching for how long now?
This is year 22 coaching, I believe.
I have a question.
So,
look, before you say
okay.
that, you said Mayville State, right, North Dakota?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What year did you play and what year did you coach?
My last year playing on the field was 2001, graduated in 2002.
Okay.
The last year coaching at Mayville State was 2013.
Were you there anywhere between 06, 07, 08?
07 was the spring of 07 was when I went back, GA'd, finished my master's, and had that.
And the only reason I asked that is,
You played them?
no, I didn't. I mean, I've been all over the place, but I want to say I got recruited by them. I can't remember. Was the head coach name Coach Ford? Or
Coach Ford, Jody Ford, who is now at Campbellsville in Kansas, I believe.
Okay. And the only reason he said maybe he'll stay in North Dakota, I was like, it can't be more than one. But I got recruited there. And then 2 of my buddies, I didn't go. It was North Dakota too far for me, and I don't like the cold.
It's too cold.
Yeah, it's just entirely too cold for me. But 2 of my friends actually went, and we graduated 2007, so they were there the 07, or I guess how do they say it? Did they say the 07 football season?
You graduated in 07, so
Yeah,
07.
yeah, they were there the 07 football season. One left that semester. I can't remember if the other one stayed, but yeah, that's so.
What were their names?
Andrew Ray and Jeremy Salas.
Andrew Ray and Jeremy Salas, linebackers.
Jeremy was, and Andrew was a D lineman. Yeah, look.
Absolutely.
Small
So,
world.
Small world. Look at that.
Maybe y'all got more in the bloodline than you know.
Don't you hear our accents? And he was in the Panhandle. Where am I from? Plainview.
it's like looking in the mirror.
So that's
awesome.
But that's cool. That's how you connect the dots. You know what I'm saying? That, like, especially in the recruiting world, that's definitely how you. So, just hearing his experience, I think his experience brings great experience for the 940 area in general. Northside's blessed because you have a guy that's coached at the collegiate level, but normally when you're a GA, you spend a lot of time doing the recruiting. So he has that experience of what to do and what not to do. And I think that's where a lot of people think there's rocket scientists to the recruiting part, but there's actually a tool that you can use to gain that exposure. I'm pretty sure he's going to bring that knowledge for sure to those kids at Northside.
So a couple things that I noticed during your introduction was you kept referring to us and we, and so I'm guessing that's referring to you and your family. Tell us a little bit about your family, and do you have kids or?
We have 4 children, and the us and the we. There is nothing that I've done by myself, nothing at all, and so we are the athletic director. I absolutely believe that. Beautiful wife Sarah here in studio with us, the consummate coach's wife. You take a look here, fast forward 3 months, we've got a new website going in at Northside. All of the pictures, all of the stats, all of the updates on the website for the athletic side, she handles for us. And then our 4 children, our oldest son Camden is going to be a senior at Northside. Our middle son Xavier is going to be a sophomore at Northside.
Boy, that's how you Northside.
That's
how you
recruiting
come in.
right there, Northside.
That's how you come in right there.
You got 2 kids. Oh, yeah,
And then we've got the twins are 5 years old, Lincoln and Kingsley. So we definitely realize that it takes a commitment from everybody for this to happen.
That's awesome. That's awesome. The other thing that I noticed was, that you got your master's. So that's pretty impressive for. I mean, it might be the standard now, but I don't think so. As far as coaches getting their masters, but like he mentioned, collegiate experience, masters. You come in 6-man football. You got kids that are gonna, play and did they both play, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it sounds like you got a lot of good things going. You were mentioning about how, or another thing I liked was you were mentioning about how you were too immature to notice or too immature to. So that's really important for someone to self-reflect or to be able to self-reflect and be able to do that. So kudos to you on that.
So let's talk a little bit about football. Last year's football season, of course, you won at Northside, but just the little time I've gotten to know you, you're a guy of research. Of course, you're going to dive in, do your research behind what's going on at Northside, and see how you guys can come in and not necessarily fix, but enhance what they have going on and make and grow the program. So let's talk a little bit about last football season. How many kids are you guys losing, and how many kids you guys have coming back?
As far as losing, they had a handful of seniors. It was a unique dynamic in that they had left before I'd gotten there. There was a transition. Northside's been in a transition period for a little while. So as far as starters gone, starters returning, basically losing 2 starters, returning 4, both sides of the ball roughly. And I think it is important, like you said, do your research. On the field, Northside was 4-6. Mm-hmm. They ended up 5-5 because of a forfeit after the game, but 4-6 as far as results. But I also think it's important. We need to know where we were. The last time Northside had a district win was 2019, 6 years ago. The last time Northside went to the playoffs, 2013. That was 12 years ago. And it isn't to impugn anything with the coaches that were there, Coach Menchaca, Coach Reeder, Coach Smart. They have had good coaches. It's just as you transition, it's very hard to get that consistency, that continuity, everything that it takes. And so it is trying to grow incrementally, and you have to acknowledge where you were so that you can celebrate those little victories on the path to where you want to get to.
For sure. So let's talk about, of course, we could talk last year, but last year's in the past. You're the man of the future. So let's talk a little bit, I guess, first and foremost, how has summer workouts been going for you guys so far?
Summer workouts, we've got a handful of kids I really want to brag on. Bryson Fry, Rance Teague, Colt Ford, Xavier Schlieve, Camden Schlieve. For the most part, those guys have been at every single workout. Some of our younger guys that I'd like to brag on, Peyton Gomez, Aiden Gillespie, Coulter Dodd, Keaton Crownover, Alex Artega. They have done a tremendous job with being young players, embracing what it takes to put the time in the summer. and then the excitement over some of our older guys that have more of the working mindset. They haven't had the how you transition in a summer to balance work and working out. But Carson Lee, Brody Heath, Daniel Avidia, Cade Marsh, Zach Reed, to have the numbers that were just talked about at the 6-man level, the energy, the attitude, the excitement, the buy-in, that's what will give us a chance to move forward. Because people could brag on this or brag on that. It's players. We'd love to say that we can draw up a play, but you walked in and saw a whiteboard, you don't know if it was Bill Belichick that drew it or if it was some coach you've never heard of. But when you look at a good player walk in the room, you'll recognize that quick. And that's what we're trying to do, take each of these guys, as good as they were, make them a little bit better. And in that process, they understand hard work, dedication, determination, self-discipline, how that will help you. And you realize the things that are going to help them in football, the same things that are going to help them in life. And we're just starting to get that foundation at Northside.
And so, new head coach, how many coaches do you have on your staff? And are they all new coaches coming with you? Did you hire them or some staying?
We have got, there'll be 6 coaches total for football, 13 coaches total.
Pause.
That's insane.
6 coaches.
How many coaches did you just say?
6. And now,
Six-
as you
six,
say
man.
this,
Whoa.
we look here. Let's say we've got a big pizza and we're in this room.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be easier to eat that pizza if we had to eat that pizza fast? Everyone take one piece? Well, in Texas, the mindset, hold up. If you're the defensive coordinator, that means you got to do something like head powerlifting. It means you something like head track. And then whoever I don't like, you're getting an extra assignment somewhere. Why not take that 3rd grade teacher that loves tennis but doesn't want any part of volleyball and let her be the head tennis coach? Hey, coach, that's not a bad idea. Well, now academics and athletics, it's a whole lot easier to marry those two together because this great teacher is helping us with tennis. Now this track coach doesn't have to rush through track practice to go to tennis. So they go, okay, I'll buy that. Well, what's the best way in the state of Texas to take somebody that's new and give them instant credibility? Put the title coach. So now you've got a new junior high math teacher. We got Mr. White over there. Okay, they may come in, they may listen. You've got Coach White there. They will come in, they will listen. So maybe all 6 of the coaches aren't necessarily the ones that are on the board saying, this is how we stop the toss sweep. But they're guys that say, I'm on board with what we're doing. I care about kids. I want to love them up and I want to make them better. And it gets more hands to have less work. And that's the philosophy. And so we've been able to implement that. 3 of the coaches are returning. 3 of the coaches are new. And it's just a matter of more people allow us to get more done.
See, that's what master degrees do for you.
Yeah, for
They
sure.
break it down like this.
Because he's the. I will honestly say, from a 6-man standpoint,
You don't see that.
I haven't. We hadn't had any coach that said they had more than 2 or 3. coaches.
I was once again started at the 2A level. It was 6 of us at 2A level.
Yeah.
And
So that's amazing, and how he broke it down it makes sense. I mean,
it does.
That's something that you just, like you said, you just gave. The word coach just means it's
more.
almost like a powerful sword or something, like, because when you have the name coach added to your name, kids do tend to respect it a little bit more. And then you have people that want to be a part of something, might not know the X's and O's, but they know the parts that, like you said, to help somebody be a better young man and those type of things, because those components are just as important as learning the X's and O's.
Yes,
to
sir.
me, they're the most important part, because I think if you learn how to be a great student, a great son, even a daughter or whatever, it turns out to becoming a better athlete. So I like that, Coach. You put a little twist, and I think they could use that at not just at the 6-man
Man,
level.
we
all
argue
classes.
for more coaches at the 5A level.
I think, like you said, being called a coach, I mean, it demands more respect. But I think for me, and I didn't coach at high school level or anything, just being called coach by the kids that I coach, it's like one of the best names to be called, in my opinion. So that's pretty cool.
I got a question. Well,
Go ahead.
not a question, but just to piggyback off of what you mentioned, you named a lot of kids, and talked about laying the foundation. And I think that's especially not just at any level, at any level, that's where it starts, is having continuity in numbers. And we know, especially at the lower classifications, you want numbers. And yes, you're bringing your 2 sons to help you, but to have that foundation, I think, of maybe 8, 9, 10, 11 kids, how important is that to have those guys?
Especially at a 6-man level.
Yes.
It is instrumental. I mean, you come back to the people, whatever you do, whatever industry it is, it comes back to the people. I'd love to say that as we sat down, you guys wowed me with your knowledge on technology and on podcast. The reality was the wow factor is the relationship. That's the wow factor. That's what people get on board with. And when you can add people, you realize there's only one football, only one guy scoring a touchdown. But if you think our relationship is going to change because you happen to score the touchdown or you didn't, well, we had a pretty shallow relationship. That was pretty transactional. Why don't we work to become transformational? Why don't we work to make a difference where they start to realize, hey, whether I threw the block or I was on the sideline with a clipboard in hand, I'm a part of it. And when you can be a part of something bigger than yourself, but really what we reach is at other stops, we've been able to see where they're fighting to become your filmer, to become your statistician. And it blew my mind to be walking down the hallway as an athletic director and have 2 young girls come up. I'm filming tonight. You're arguing to film the 7th grade B team game. It's going to be 101. There's no shade up there. And this is a voluntary position.
Yeah.
You're right. Tell her I'm filming. And they couldn't pick up on, hey, you can film the junior high B team. You can film the junior high A team.
Yeah.
Okay, I can live with that. Because they just wanted to be a part. And that's when you know you've got something going.
So, on average, how many players will you think will be? Or is Northside going to have a JV and a varsity?
That's the challenge when you come in new. Our numbers are such that you're like, Coach, you're absolutely going to have a JV. But historically, they've not been consistent with it. And when you haven't been consistent, it's hard for people to honor, like, yeah, you say you're going to play me, but you haven't played me for 3 years or 4 years. We will have a JV. And then the second thing of that is we've got to break that stigma. Sometimes at a small school, they think JV means you're not good. JV means just you're not there yet. But it is instrumental. It is foundational for how do you grow. You've got to have a step between junior high and varsity for the majority of players in the world. JV serves as that step. And by having a JV, by letting the kids take that step and then getting them to understand that's nothing against you. This is just part of your growth and development. And that's one of our challenges, one of the things we're working on at Northside.
And I think you said that perfectly, because we've had a couple of coaches come through and mention that they want to keep their classes together. Their younger kids, 8th graders, maybe going into 9th grade, keep them together the best they can. And it's not an indictment on that they're not good enough. It's maybe, hey, we want you to blossom here, and take some lumps here versus being a 13, 14-year-old kid going up against a 17, 18-year-old senior.
Absolutely. And that, don't wreck them. Confidence is worth a bunch. And let the kids believe, because before somebody truly achieves. There you go.
That's a slogan?
He stole my line. But I'll get my money back from you later, Josh, on that.
All right. So you mentioned you're bringing 2 of the Schlives with you, right?
Yes, sir.
What
he's
positions?
bringing 4.
Well, he's bringing all of them, but 2 of them are going to actually play on the field. Mom might be, or wife, Mrs. Schlieve might be on the field too. It sounds
She the
like.
OC.
He just didn't know yet.
So what positions do they play?
So our oldest, both of them had been quarterback, linebacker. One had been.
I think you're more Texan than you realize.
Well,
head coach, son plays quarterback. All right, sorry.
And having that, but part of that college side is right now our oldest son is just in that stage. Our middle son is looking, saying, "I'm going to look through the eyes of older brother." How do you take that next step, and how do you project to college? Well, that's a lot easier when I look at our boys, and sometimes you see their face, they're like, oh, we forgot that Dad was a college coach. As they hear me talking with college coaches, they talk about positions or transitions, how that works, because you can be amazing in high school, but that doesn't mean it's transitioning over to college, or at least not the same way. And so I see the boys competing there at that quarterback spot, but also being able to be versatile enough. What do we think you do at another level? And then defensively, having two kids that understand behind the scenes, and they've seen behind the curtain, so to speak. What is he looking for in this instance? Well, we're trying to stop this. How do you know it? We've been there when the film is being broke down. We've been there when the conversations are being had. This is what we're looking to stop. Here's how we do it. It gets an extension of the coaches out on the field when it's done right.
Yeah, it's unique that you say that. There was a kid at Ryder, Jacob Rodriguez, phenomenal quarterback, played quarterback, great quarterback. He went to Virginia to play quarterback. I told everybody, I think it was around his sophomore.
West Virginia, right?
No, Virginia. I noticed this, and this is what you're talking about to translate. I noticed his sophomore year, he was a stud. When I say stud, a dude, we'll figure that out in a minute.
Yeah, you got to ask.
But he was an amazing middle linebacker, all state. But he had a passion to want to play quarterback. Fast forward now, he's one of the top linebackers at Texas Tech. Top linebackers. He transferred with Texas Tech, one of the top linebackers in the country. Sometimes you just have to let the kids, sometimes I hate for it to happen that way, for them to just have to see, kind of like what you're saying, like you're good at this, but when transitioning, you might, when you get to college, they're going to put you at what they see you best for their program.
And I'll say, I came in on his senior year, and there was an argument every week, so to speak, of we probably knew his best position was linebacker, but we needed him at quarterback too. But it doesn't surprise me. He's a stud
and
like
that's
he is.
not a lot of coaches do that. They don't take that into consideration. So that makes sense. That if you do have a battle, you can break that down and choose.
And this is one, when you've got a high school background set, obviously you play college football, but then if you coach high school football first, you have to learn how to do more with less, literally and figuratively. But then coming back to college, we'd spend the first 5 practices, they pick where they want to go. And the coaches would be chomping at the bit, the coordinators, at the meeting, pounding the table, let us start putting guys there. Fellas, if you stay back, they will naturally go where they should go, and it will save us a bigger headache. We're going to be frustrated for about 2.5 days, 3 days, and then watch life get easier. But if you try to pigeonhole them too fast, it'll wreck it. Well, at Northside, it had team taught, and everyone's looking, what are you doing? You go to the superintendent, these guys are at all these positions. Yes. Why? Interchangeable parts are more versatile and more valuable. Then the kids start to see it. Hey, if I do this, I fit this. There you go. Just sometimes as adults, we have to step back, stay out of the way, and it will naturally get there. But just like you described, if you would have tried to rush that process and said, you are only coming here, you are only playing linebacker, you might have lost out on a good player because you just weren't patient enough with it.
Yeah, and that's something that I coach Little League Baseball, but I make those kids play all the positions. And, they're like, why is he pitching? I'm like, because
you got to learn.
You never know. Like, he's got to know how to do it. You never know what's going to happen. He's not pitching against the best team in the league, but, we're up by 10 runs, whatever. But they still need to learn every position, know how to play everything. And then another thing is we just had a kid actually that graduated from Jacksboro last year. He's in Colorado State right now. I just talked to him the other day. He was the best wide receiver in our area, one of the best safety or whatever.
He's hands down was the best safety.
He's going to play middle line or linebacker at Colorado State.
Yeah, and I think a funny story about that is I work with a guy, Coach McClung. He played. He did play, but he coached pretty much D1, D2, and he's been with us the last 4 years. And funny story, at Abilene High, there's a guy by the name of John Lackey. I don't know if you guys know him anyway, but as I tell the short story, John Lackey, he played quarterback for him at Abilene High, and he pitched a little bit. And Coach McClung, I think he was recruiting him. He was recruiting him at Angelo. and he told him, I don't think this baseball deal is going to work out for you. You should come play quarterback for us at Angelo State. Well, if you know anything about baseball and John Lackey, you know he was a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox and won 2 World Series. So that kind of speaks of you know, you just never know what these kids will turn out to.
So, Coach, the next question I have for you is, with you being the new coach to our area, what do you coach actually in when it comes to, are you offensive coach, defensive coach, and if you are offensive defense, what's style? What's your style when it what do you bring to the game?
So being in different places, have coached both sides of the ball, coordinated both sides of the ball, had that. And what you try to do is look at who you have around you, where their strengths are. The best programs that I've seen run, you guys had talked about as we got in the Bison, you have a CEO as a head coach, and the CEO gets good people, and they let the people do their job. Now, to walk in at the 6-man level and think you're just going to hand over an offense, hand over a defense, hand over a special teams, that would be irresponsible. And so as we work towards that, we'll call the offense. Coach Cazarez will call the defense. Coach Matthews will coordinate special teams and work towards that. But really, we'll do it all together, because the more you can advance, you will help others to advance their career. You know, instead of just being an assistant, they were an assistant and a special teams coordinator. Instead of being a D-line coach, they were a D-line coach and a run game coordinator. They learn more responsibility, and you give them so much autonomy that they develop enough skill set they could go anywhere. And the hope is you treat them so well that they never want to leave. That's the hope.
So so basically, Northside, y'all are getting college experience.
A flat out stud.
Basically, like, because the things that the components and the things that you talk about is how a lot of times the colleges are ran, or everybody has something. Everybody, and what you're doing is you're making everybody feel like they belong. When you're a part of something that you feel that like you belong, you give your best every day. But if I'm just showing up to be the guy that wash clothes or the busy work, you don't feel like you're a part of it. So when you feel that you're a part of it, like you're saying, like the D-line coach, hey, you're the D-line coach, but you're responsible for the run game. He's gonna take pride in that, because you know that's his guys are the ones up front. So
I think your thought is amazing. I would just say it might be incomplete, because you had said just the guy that washes clothes. If we had that, if I heard that, real simple, leave them wet today. What? Leave them wet. Don't turn the dryer on. I bet you'll never be referred to as just the guy that washes clothes again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You'll be the man. Mm-hmm. So now they learn, because Miss Schlieve is amazing. She takes the pictures. So I tell the guys, you go to the website, you like seeing your picture, you think it just gets there?
Yeah.
Someone has to take that. Well, now they're walking down the hall. Miss Schlieve, how are you doing today? You having a good day? Now they're doing the right thing. They're doing it for the wrong reason. They selfishly want to see themselves, but it's a step in the right direction. They're doing the right thing for the wrong reason. Our goal is to get the guys doing the right thing for the right reason.
For sure.
But as soon as they see how that fits, that guy that's filming, that guy that's doing stats, the guy that's doing laundry, if we do it right, there's the respect of they're part of it, but then there's that base knowledge of, shoot, if you don't dry those clothes, I got to go to practice in wet stuff. Come on, good buddy, you can do this.
Stankin'.
If,
I believe
if
in you.
you don't film, my
That's
highlight
There you go.
isn't on the highlight film.
And
now you watch guys go, God darn it, what do we got? Where's my play at? And they see a Kit Kat wrapper, and they're like, were you up there eating? No. No. But it truly helps them to realize why everybody is important.
Yes, for sure, for sure.
So I think we'll switch over and talk about your opponents leading into the district. Let's just talk about your preseason, or I say preseason, but pre-district schedule.
Okay, we've got 2 challenging scrimmages. Paducah, always filled with athletes. Wichita Christian, defending state champs. So we get to see and test ourselves with our scrimmages.
Where's that game at?
Both are at Northside. So we are
That might be a good scrimmage to go to.
great one to come check out. A Thursday night, let you come over, get that, not affect your Friday. There you go. There you go.
we could talk about something later on the show.
On the sideline.
Yeah. Get something to eat, maybe. We'll talk about that later.
There
All
you
right,
go.
sorry, go ahead.
Then we go into our first regular season game, we make the road trip to Rule. So we head down there. That's a big game for us. Rule had beat Northside pretty good last year, and so that first chance to see, are we a different team? Mm-hmm. And then we host Silverton, host Harold in what will become a Warriors of Wilburger County traveling trophy game. And so we've developed a trophy. We realize that we get to play this game because we are in this great nation, and it's defended by people that keep us free. And so our Warriors of Wilburger County has a 4-sided trophy that has warriors from World War I, warriors from modern day, and World War II. The other side has the winners, and that trophy will go with the winner of that team each year. And we thought it was a great way to pay our respects to those that have sacrificed for us, as well as create a rivalry or bring a rivalry back and keep it played on an annual basis.
Was that your idea?
That was one of our ideas that we had come up with, but
That's awesome.
had a part of that. We have Rotan at home. Will be a tremendous contest for us, coached by former Northside coach, Coach Menchaca. So great opportunity. We then have Forestburg at home for homecoming. I see a lot of home games. Last year they were road warriors, so we get that benefit of being at Northside. We travel to Goldberg, very athletic, very talented team. And then we kick off our district schedule with Knox City at home, travel to Newcastle, Bryson at home for senior night, and then end the regular season going to Perrin-Witt. So challenging district. It's one where our guys are going to get to see, how do you stack up against some of the best in the state of Texas.
And Northside is Division I or Division II?
Division I.
Division I, okay. So, Coach, been enjoying you so far on the show. I know you're from North Dakota, so today we're going to have the Big O Special.
Brought to you by
North Dakota. State of North Dakota, thank you for sponsoring us this time. I don't have a sponsor yet for my segment, so, I'm just throwing people out.
I like that. That was really
North
good.
Dakota, please come sponsor him.
All right, so I'm putting you on the spot a little bit. Your wife is here, so don't get this wrong. The first part of the Big O Special that I'm bringing to you is, what is your favorite dish that your wife cooks for you?
Honestly, and even with her sitting here, we've been so spoiled. I don't know that there's anything that she can't make and that she doesn't make better than going out. And that's a tough thing because you go, why go out if you can make this better?
Yeah.
So we're spoiled there. Anything that you can think of, she can make, and she can make well.
Okay, so the next part of the question is you've been living in Texas for 11 years. You're a North Dakota native. What's something that you wish they had in Texas that you would eat when you were in North Dakota?
Buffalo.
I think if I were to go, because I'd graduated high school in Wisconsin, as a whole, Italian food from up north is better. I would say Italian food, but it's hard to complain because the Mexican food in Texas is so good. So we definitely have that trade-off.
Okay, so the next part, the last part, final part of what I was going
Is
to
that a
ask you.
3-part or 4-part?
This is triple
It's
meat.
Triple meat.
Part.
What's
What
your
did he?
favorite place to eat at in Vernon?
Arcos.
And tell them give them a shout out. What's your favorite dish? So, what do you eat when you go?
Arcos is just good Mexican food. If we're going to pick one dish, then I'd go Rusty Spur, the ribeye tacos. Shout out to Coach Reed for putting us onto that, and their fried pickles.
Ribeye taco. Do you do anything special to the ribeye tacos?
They make them good as is. You don't have to change a thing.
Okay, so you said that place is called the Spur?
The Rusty Spur.
All right, Rusty Spur, you heard it first here from the guy that you believe in, Coach Schlieve. Get him something named on the menu after this guy. We believe.
The Big O, and that was the Big O Special, sponsored, brought to you by Big O, sponsored by
North Dakota.
you. Welcome.
These guys have too much fun.
Yep.
So,
Ribeye tacos.
Ribeye
I'm
tacos.
hungry right now. That sounds pretty good. I do have a question.
All right, let's do that.
How does, and it's kind of a two-parter, but you answer this first part. How does a man in North Dakota who played college football, 11-man college football, how does he fall in love with the game of 6-man football?
So we're coaching at Spring Hill High School in Longview, Texas, and we get to a bye week. And as we get to the bye week, everyone is tired. Everyone is looking forward to that night off.
Yep.
We're looking to go to a game. At that point, our boys were young. They were early elementary. Twins weren't born. And we see that Leverett's Chapel is playing Fannondale. So we drive out, driving through the woods in East Texas, pull up on this stadium. You get out, the atmosphere, they're grilling, the concession stand, the just intimate feel of kids playing football in the end zone, Friday night, the cheerleaders, the band, the game, just loved it. Loved that small school feel. And like I said, came back, we're in the coach's office talking about it, and they were so upset that I'd looked. Then we get offered the LaFour's job, 6-man job, and they let the athletic director go at Spring Hill. So they said, okay, Schlieve, when would you like to interview? I was like, well, we took a job at LaFour's. Like, so? I go, what do you mean, so? I go, so I gave him my word. And I thought we were going to fight. We're in the butcher block in Longview, Texas, and a couple of the coaches on staff had boys that played linebackers, so they're in my, position group. And they're like, you're interviewing. And I'm like, I'm interviewing. We took the job at LaFour's. And they're like, I don't care. And so I stand up. I go, you feeling froggy? Are we doing this here? I'm like, we're going to fight right in the butcher block. And now in hindsight, what a compliment it was. That they're like, but I didn't realize in Texas that if a better job comes along, people will take it. We believe that you give your word, that means something, and you stay. In hindsight now, that's not a common sentiment where you're going, you didn't go to a 4A interview to go to a 1A school.
Right.
But we think God's got a perfect plan, and we needed to be where we were at that time for that reason. And great relationship with those guys. It's just how that worked out.
So, a man of his word, that's a Texas thing. It's also a Viking thing, which I told you earlier.
You
Jeff
ain't no
is not
Viking,
a
though.
Viking, man.
You from Burke Burnett.
He is a Viking.
He's got Viking blood.
You ain't no Viking.
Bro, I have 10%.
The
Look
closest
at my
you get is
ancestry.
when I give you a Justin Jefferson jersey.
Yeah, that's the
I'll
only
wear
Vikings
it.
he gonna be going for.
Hey, I'll wear it.
Traitor.
All right, so I'm
You are a traitor.
not a traitor.
Oh, you got to ask your question. What do you call him?
Yeah.
yeah.
He's from North Dakota. So when you're talking about a kid that's a really good athlete, what do you call him? Let's see what he says.
Well, now that I'd heard you talk before, whether it was a stud or a dude, I think probably would have went to stud first, but understanding different when they're talking about a kid that can play. East Texas had a cat, had a GoDaddy.
GoDaddy, yep.
That was one coaching in East Texas.
Daddy, we ain't heard that.
Yeah.
Actually, you said that before.
That was one that got us in East Texas. We're scheming up stuff defensively, and everyone looking around, blank stare. Like, guys, this is not hard. What do you want? Throw the hands up. Why can't we run cat defense? I'm like, what's cat defense? I point across the line and say, I got that cat. I got that cat. I got that cat. And they're dead serious. And I said, what happens when you run into a team where they're faster than you? Blank stares like, Coach, I have no idea. That could never happen. So East Texas, it's maybe a GoDaddy or a cat.
Yeah.
But we definitely got to pick up what a player was at each region.
Yeah, for sure.
That's interesting. So I think my last question is, do you have any more?
Go ahead. I'll let you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I ask everybody this, and I just like to listen to the answers, and you've been pretty good at breaking everything down to, like, I don't know, I feel like you're the smartest person in the room by far.
He a genius. He said a word a while ago.
Don't knock my intelligence.
He said a word a while ago. I started to say dictionary. That's what we used to say. That's what we used to say when we were kids.
But
They
he said, oh man, I don't know if he said transactional
Yeah,
But
and then
then
he said transformational.
Ooh,
That was good. That was going to be clipped. He came in here.
Yeah.
He must have been seeing the reels. He's like, I'm gonna get
1,000 of them.
I'm gonna get about 50 of them right out of this interview. But question I always ask every coach. Usually it's the last question, but however, Evan has changed things up on us. Is there a game on your schedule this year that you have circled?
I think knowing Northside, knowing how much the Herald game means to them, getting on the field and playing it, they've been avoiding each other for years. Depending on who you talk to, will give a different story with it. But that's one that I know matters a lot to the community of Northside. But honestly, as cliche as it'll sound, it's that one game of the week. Can we get them to buy in a little bit more this week? Can we get them to understand that I might be a performer, but I'm definitely not a leader? And can we get our kids that are performers to slide over and become a leader, where they're not saying, well, I got my 10 catches, I got my 12 tackles, I rushed for my 100, I put in 3 touchdowns, but attitudes of, can we help others so that we improve? And I think, especially year one, it becomes that Paducah because it's first, and Wichita Christian because it's second, and that way. So we're just really excited to get it started.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great game to circle, the Herald game, but like you mentioned, also the others as well. So very good. And
my
I'll
last,
let you.
Yeah,
I said it was my last question, but depending on what you.
No,
we do have to touch on one more part of it.
For sure, because this is my last question, and I like asking the smaller classification coaches this, and especially you guys at 6-man. So tell us, you're the head football coach, athletic director. Tell us all the other jobs you do, and your wife as well. Could you mention her and what she does? So
my wife is amazing. She's every relationship has an A side and a B side. She's the A side of the relationship. She is certified in many subjects. She's probably the best teacher that I've been around. She is high level, upper level science, but she has just been named the counselor at Northside. So she is taking on all of that as well. Then on my end, we've got AD, head football, having a CDL. I've driven the bus route many times. In fact, day one at Northside, they're like, hey, coach, can you drive the bus? And I thought they were kidding.
Welcome.
Exactly.
So you're right into the fire.
And having that. But I'm very blessed at Northside with the administration, the community realizing just because somebody could go in a classroom and teach doesn't mean that's our best and most useful spot for them. Mm-hmm. If we truly want an athletic director to come up with ideas, an athletic director to implement systems, then we've got to let them be an athletic director. And I get that luxury at Northside, and so very fortunate with that.
Very good, very good. Did you have anything else? Because I do have one last question. All right, one last question. I don't think we asked this. We could have. Feels like this interview has been extremely long. But what, as a new coach and a new member of Northside, what has the community and the transition been like for you and your family moving in and taking over that spot?
The community embraced the family, and so that the people at Northside are what make the difference. I mean, we've got great kids. It's a unique setup. It's about 82% transfer, so it's kids that are wanting to go and be in an environment like that, a community that wanted to have somebody come in. And what I would say is, in their transition from the athletic director leaving, patchworking it for a year, and getting our family in, it has been an exciting attitude on their part, where they genuinely seem excited to have somebody in place, somebody to go to, somebody to head up different projects, to lead different events. And so welcoming, I guess, would be the overall theme.
All right. And I swear this is the last question. Sorry.
I got one
It
more.
gave me.
And one more. And
No,
one
this is the last
Sound
one.
like a
Okay,
preacher.
promise. I got to be respectful of
How many,
y'all's time.
how
I
many
apologize.
closings are you going to have?
Yeah.
Sound like a pastor.
So, what is one goal that Coach Schlieve has for the Northside this year on the field, or an accomplishment, or whether that's making the playoffs or getting having a winning season, or getting a gold ball?
People would love to hear a record, or they'd love to hear win this game or do that. But I think the reality is if we can break any sort of selfish behavior and bump them into selfless behavior, that will be the success, because the scoreboard will follow. The scoreboard will follow that. But beyond that, it will help them in life. And so sometimes at a small school, you can get told you're the man. You can have people just telling you you're great and you're wonderful and this is awesome. And whether it's true or not, by the time that person would fall, they'd be somebody else's problem and they don't have to deal with it. We want to set them up where whether you fell today, tomorrow, or 10 years from now, you're one of ours. And so all these lessons that we give you are to set you up for today, tomorrow, and 10 years from now. And because we've done this, we've had the players that we've battled with, and we'll walk out of an interview like this and we'll get a text and it'll be a random player from 5 years ago saying, I get it, coach. I didn't, but I get it. Thank you. And you'd love to say it's worth it. I mean, it makes it easier, but that was still a lot of years of battling with the kid. That was a lot of, but you do it because it's the right thing to do. And so I think if we can get Northside closer to selfless than selfish, that would be our win.
That's awesome, man. What a great interview. You've been great. We appreciate you guys coming out here, making the trip over here. And do you have anything else for us?
I just want to thank you guys. What an opportunity to come in, talk about the program, celebrate the kids, what you guys are doing. A lot of people will talk about putting the kids first. You guys are walking the walk. You're doing what you can do to put the kids first. And just thank you so much for that opportunity.
Yes, sir. We appreciate that. And we, like I mentioned before, we have high expectations for you as a coach and for your team, because we're excited we're excited that you're the head coach and that you came here, and we've had a great interview. I guess just go out and good luck this season, and wish you the best of luck. If you need anything from us, just let us know, and we'll be here.
I appreciate it. Thank
All
you
right.
so much.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you.